Up the day.
Nothing gets it going.
Nobody does it better.
Mrs. M's singing there. There you are, computer. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Bom dia, Portugal!
In Portugal, there's a YouTube show full of fun facts you need to know. Carl rings the bell and the members show to the GMP morning show. Featured guests will come and they will blow your mind. The audience will do so in kind. The little vanity mixed with some insanity on the morning show with GMP.
Good morning, Portugal, and I'd like to welcome you to another fantastic day.
Hey, GuMPers.
Munson here. Hola, bon dia, alegria. Munson here with the Good Morning Portugal show live stream and podcast. We're pushing the studio PC to its absolute limit. There's almost steam coming out of it as it's whirring away, trying to process everything that's happening this morning, including the delightful Mrs. M, who sat next to me here.
Hello.
Oh, what's that you've got there, Mrs. M?
Oh yeah, I've got a kitten.
There is something whirring.
Yeah, I was going to say it's not our computer. It's
Is
my
it the
hard
cat?
drive. It's my hard drive.
Oh, thanks for
Just
coming
turn it
in and
off.
sabotaging the studio as usual.
I didn't sabotage.
Oh,
I was doing
that's
some work
better.
there. See,
It's
all
like the
much better now.
Quatermass experiment, like something from the 1950s black and white movie. Oh, the aliens have landed. It's not. It isn't the cat purring, but I think we're going to hear that, aren't we?
Yeah,
Mrs. M has
I'll
brought
get
her
him.
pussy with a look at that.
Yes, stroking my
Oh,
pussy.
look.
I know. When he starts purring, I
Yeah.
will put him right by the mic.
You asked if people knew about him, Sebastian, or that's his name so far.
That's
That
what
is
the kids
so
wanna call him.
posh and somewhat embarrassing, isn't it? Why don't we call him Little Lord Farquhar or something instead? He's a
Well, I was
little
thinking,
Farquhar.
I,
Actually.
I was thinking maybe people could name him. We do actually need a spare name because we're adopting a second pussy
You
later
think
on
the
today.
GuMPers should have the responsibility of naming this cat?
Well, it might be
think
better than our children.
I will pay a price if that's the case, I think. GuMPer? What's up with GuMPer?
Hello, do you want to say hello to everyone?
Oh, he's suddenly gone shy. He's not throwing himself down the stairs this morning or launching himself at my feet at 3 a.m. or anything like that. He looks so sweet and cute now, doesn't he?
He is so sweet and cute. He's gorgeous.
Yeah, well, that's one aspect of his personality, I would say. We got Bev joining us from Soul Finesse.
Fantastic. I
Oh,
love
yeah.
Bev's food. I'd like to thank
Don't
her
we
for...
just? I was telling her that when I got some of the country boil the other day with shrimp and crabs in that I showed everybody, I think last Monday. I just stood at the countertop eating it. I didn't even sit down.
Well, I mean, I was actually doing a live stream myself, and you were so
Come
in
and
your
try this.
senses that you had no idea I was doing a live stream and shouting and crashing and bashing in the background. And then when I did
Stop
come
being
through,
drunk.
yeah, but speaking of, may I just thank?
Yes, very good.
Thank
Jason,
yeah,
well done.
that went down
Jason.
very nicely last
It
night.
had top notes of late night boozing, Mrs. M, didn't it?
It sure did, yeah.
Yeah, well, you did.
But what I was going to say is, you were so into Bev's food that you actually said, "Oh my God, I'm having a
foodgasm,
an all over body foodgasm," and I was like, "What the hell are you talking about?"
I don't know if I should say that to Bev or not. It might embarrass her. We'll see what happens. She's joining us.
I think she's big enough to be able to handle that.
A man's foodgasm.
Yeah,
What's
totally.
He saying? Okay. Caroline Piper. Hello, Caroline Piper.
Hello, Caroline. If I don't seem like I'm saying hello to people, it's because I'm not actually looking at the screen. No, I can't actually. I've got this. I'm actually watching my phone.
Can see here what's
happening. But if I look there, then people can see I'm not. You told me I was only professional if I look straight ahead at the camera.
Yeah, it makes it sound like I'm your Pygmalion media guy who gives you all these tips. So I just say them off the cuff, and when I'm being
and who doesn't
silly.
like a good tip in the morning?
Should I stand up and reveal whether I have any trousers on or not? Because we've got another light. Hold on.
He has got a good tip for you this morning. Oh.
Have you unplugged it again?
Yes.
Oh, studio sabotage every time you're in here before me.
Okay, hang on.
Okay.
Let me do
No,
this.
don't. No, seriously.
I'll get up and then you can see if I'm wearing trousers.
Because I think it will get worse. If you're holding a kitten, you're going to get up, try and turn the lights on, and it's just going to go from bad to worse, I think. Bon dia, GuMPers. We'll work without that. We'll pretend
you actually look
happened.
fine. You look great.
Thank you. Bon dia, GuMPers. Feliz sexta a todos. Putting the sex in sexta-feira today. And, of course,
Filomena
Friday. She'll be here at 9 o'clock this morning. Let's do that again.
Filomena
Friday. Yes, she is. And it's a bit confusing this morning. At the other link. Yes, I published the GMP VIP Hangout, which happens at 10. If you're a supporter of the show, you can join us, hang out, and find out if I've got any trousers on at 10 o'clock.
Yikes.
You might want to become a supporter just to make sure that doesn't happen at GMP VIP. Pop over there. We've got the quiz to do, Mrs. M, this morning. We've got Anna, who has been in Gothenburg. Look, Bon dia Alegria from Stockholm. Yeah, we've got a couple of European
I've been to
correspondents.
Gothenburg before.
Have you?
Mm-hmm.
What are we doing there?
We weren't doing anything. I was doing something there.
I don't remember being there.
That was pre-you.
Really? There is no such time as pre-me. I've always been here in my life.
You've always been here since I've been born, yes. But
that's ominous.
By a good decade. But no, I did go
by a good decade?
A decade.
I do need to buy a good decade. Okay. Cool.
Oh dear. Yeah, I went there one Christmas. Just on one of these little tours. You know, they used to be like collect a load of tokens in the paper, and you can get a lovely luxury Christmas cruise and see a Swedish Christmas market and this, that, and the other.
Yes.
And I thought that'd be really nice. Only the person I went with got food poisoning and was vomiting all over the place.
Oh, really?
And actually, it was just really.
Watch out for the flying Swedish meatballs.
It was actually prawns, but yikes. Yeah.
Tactically, you might not want to eat prawns on a cruise near Christmas.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Okay. Have you seen the Wham documentary yet? Talking of Christmas.
Oh, good link.
It was,
good link.
It's very good, actually, very good in the voices of George.
I wonder who else might have a white Christmas.
What are you talking about? Hunter Biden? was that a White House shirt?
No, I wonder. Do you know what? I find it so hard to believe that the most heavily guarded place on the planet can't identify where a bag of Coke comes from when everyone has to sign in and out.
I thought you were talking about a Coldplay gig for a moment. But it does sound like there's more security.
It actually smells like a load of old hooey to me.
You're very good at sniffing out the hooey, aren't you? Let's be fair. You're attuned to it.
Methinks they don't want to admit where it's come from.
All right. Let's steer her away from that. Come away from the series, Mrs. M. Bon dia Alegria from Stockholm, an hour ahead of you. Just arrived back from Gothenburg, which is, or should I say, Gutenberg, which is celebrating 400 years of age, which is here. I'm not going to play the Coldplay clip because I think that might give me a massive.
You might get a bit depressed.
No, don't. This is Anna's favourite band.
Oh, I'm sorry. Here. I won't share with you.
No, Coldplay fans do have to face this, don't they, from time to time? And that's what happens when you're really successful and really big. You do get your critics as well. It's hard to believe. I think Chris Martin's an amazing guy, absolutely, and a Devonian too. Motto of Coldplay. He has a conscious uncoupling, right? We're all aliens somewhere, he says.
Which I've heard you laugh about.
What, conscious uncoupling?
Well,
of course.
Well, not the fact that they do it, but the fact that they're talking about it so publicly. But
yeah, I'm just jealous because I talk about things like that privately and have to, whereas he can just him and his ex-missus and her candles can do
special
it
vagina candles.
Yeah. So anyway, if we could just focus on Gothenburg and Coldplay, isn't that beautiful? 400 years old.
That's lovely.
And Coldplay say this is especially prescient for us migrants. We are all aliens somewhere. And look at this gig here, Mrs. M. Let me just take Anne's comment off the screen here. And Sweden, Portugal. There you go. Look at that.
Wow.
Isn't that amazing? And the video she sent me of Chris Martin, just so natural. and brilliant on stage singing happy birthday to somebody.
That's really nice.
I mean, to be sat in front of thousands of people like that,
please
so
forgive
natural.
me. You know, it's only that I know Carl doesn't normally have a nice thing to say about Coldplay, so it's interesting to hear him being so nice.
No, it's mixed.
But you know what? That looks really, really lovely.
I
do happen to agree that. Well, I wouldn't say aliens. I think there's a bit of an alien agenda being sold at the moment.
Oh,
however, I
do
feel like we're all orphans at some level, aren't we? You know, like
just chips off the old block,
even
looking to find our way home.
Exactly. And you know, I think it's great when you do go home, you get that moment to reflect.
Oh, and if I had my piano with me now, I would be as we have in this comment. Oh no, what's this? A spider's web, and I'm caught in the middle, and I'm here with the crowd with their lighters and everything. Fantastic. I never meant to cause you trouble. Right, that's Gothenburg there, I think. Did you enjoy that or not?
That was amazing.
Yeah. Okay,
thank you. That's not bad for first thing in the morning.
Yeah, exactly. After staying up late till 2 o'clock in the morning last night, drinking the Quinta Essencial bin #1.
Yeah,
went down very well last night. Thank you, Anna. It sounds like you're having a lovely time.
Yeah,
and you're always going to be an hour ahead of us. I think the way this works. She's in Sweden.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. So thank you very much. And yeah, I'm resisting playing the clip just in case I get a massive copyright slap. People who record companies can be like that as well. And I don't want to lose. I don't want to get kicked off YouTube for any reason, including a good one like that. And I'm glad you had a great time. Quick video before Bev joins us. We stay on European tours that people are having, and another battlefield commentary from João de Norte, who's heading home. Good news, John. Looking forward to having you back in the country. There is a João de Norte shaped hole in the north of Portugal, which will be filled, I think, maybe later on today. Here's his commentary. I think this might be the Battle of Hastings that we go to now.
Oh, it's in the UK?
Yes.
Hello, Battle History fans, GuMPers. This is the Battle of Hastings, 1066. Harold Godwinson decided that he would be king as successor to Edward the Confessor, claiming that Edward had, on his deathbed, said he could be king. Honest. Yeah. No one else was there to witness that. Besides, he had already sworn fealty and said that he recognized that William of Normandy would be the successor. Well, William didn't take kindly to that, and he decided he'd come over and do something about it on this very spot. 1066. Harold got this big arrow in his eye. Not big. Amazing.
Really love John's battlefield commentaries. Another cracker there from the Battle of Hastings in
Was that
England.
an actual arrow?
It's this arrow here that John fell the wrong side of.
I love
Isn't that brilliant?
I grew up with loads of stories of 1066 and the Battle of Hastings.
Not far, just down the road.
Exactly.
From you, right?
I'm not born too far away from there, and also
1066.
No, but
that's me, not you.
But also there was quite a lot of activity around Rochester Castle, which is just down the road from where I grew up.
A historical site for Dickens as well, right?
Yeah,
Rochester Castle.
Yeah,
that was fantastic, John. And with the traditional Norman chainsaw weapons in the background.
Do you know what? That really made me feel a bit nostalgic.
What, being in central Portugal and the constant sound of chainsaws in the distance and strimmers and so on. I didn't know the Normans used chainsaws and strimmers as part of their battle arsenal. Thank you, John. Let's give her a nice big round of applause. That wasn't to you, Bev. That was for you. Good morning to you. How lovely to see you. With
Good morning. Good morning. Hi.
You've got.
He's asleep on you, isn't he? Yeah. John needed a dead cat, actually, which is the name of a certain kind of microphone. I didn't want to say that in front of the little fella here, but he's Best kept that way, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you got a name suggestion for this cat, Bev?
No.
You don't want that responsibility. Okay, all right, fair enough. He's a little stray, and he's now, well, he's not anymore, and he's made himself.
We're going to lead him astray, most likely.
He's very happy here, isn't he?
Yeah.
Apparently, these little black cats aren't very easy to find homes for.
Really? Is it a superstition thing in Portugal?
It might be. I don't know.
Is that right, Bev? Do you know about this?
In America also.
Really?
Oh, wow.
I didn't realize he's our first choice. Yeah, amazing. Okay, Bev, you haven't come here to talk about superstitions, have you? Or to name a cat. You've come here to talk about your delicious food and to get an apology from me publicly in front of all our peers here, because I feel really bad about this. I credited Dan on Monday with his amazing skills in the kitchen and the beautiful film that you can see here. I'm going, Dan this, Dan that. And a little message from you. Actually, that's my cooking, not Dan's there. Some of the cooking at Soulfulness is Dan's, but I think most of it is yours, right? And as Zen was saying, foodgasm, Sunday afternoon, stood up at the countertop. I was like Homer Simpson tucking in to this beautiful dish in front of me. So I am so sorry I didn't correctly identify you as the creator of this beautiful food.
Correct. Dan is the creator of all of the fried food. Dan's from Georgia, and anyone's from Georgia in America, please do not come after me. Y'all like to eat fried food. I'm sorry. Fried. So Dan fries and he creates all of the batter for the fried fish and the fried chicken,
which we love.
Yes. I love to bake and season everything else. So the seafood bowl is something that is done and was created in Louisiana. We are known for our famous seafood bowl. We put it in the big pots, the seafood bowl pots, the gumbo pots, and we do the bowl. The creation for the jackfruit came about because in my kitchen, in the pantry, I have over 200 seasonings. And I get it shipped in quite often. And I just create different seasons. And believe it or not, I don't use salt at all.
Do you not?
Wow.
No. I had a stroke before. So my stroke came from low blood pressure, not high blood pressure, believe it or not. So
really? I've not heard of that.
Yeah. And a lot of people, I used to brag about how low my blood pressure was.
I've done that. I'm going to stop.
Yeah. And I used to work out a lot. But every time I worked out, I would get lightheaded. And I was like, maybe I'm working out too much. And it caused a stroke.
Wow.
So I found out it was because of stress, but the low blood pressure. And my blood pressure is still low. So I use a lot of seasoning without salt.
Incredible. And you make such incredible food, Bev. And we need to talk about this as well. This is your vegan, which you are becoming, I mean, it's fair to say world famous for, right? Somebody rocked up the other day, didn't they, saying, I've heard about this.
Yes.
You've had people from Australia say, where's this great food?
Australia, Sweden. I met a gentleman that, as I was telling you, I'm not sure if he trained somebody that is the overseer of all of the continents, but he is Portuguese, but he grew up in America and now he's back in Porto. He heard our accent. He was on the pit stop grounds, and he hurried up and he brought his kids back to the Airbnb to his wife. And he came back. He said, my wife's not vegan, and I was just going to eat some rice, but I'm going to come back. I gave him a taste of the vegan dish, which was jackfruit.
This is the one.
This is the one. But I want to tell you, this was the end of the jackfruit, but it looks better than that, but
Yeah,
great
I mean,
picture.
yeah, I'm sorry, that is my photography doesn't do it justice, and nor does the packaging, right? But we had to get it home somehow.
Yeah,
That's the
it,
problem. Your presentation is absolutely beautiful, given the
it,
circumstances we have.
but you did a great job, and I thank you. I truly thank you. I mean, you're like our number one fan, so thank you, thank you,
Yay!
thank you.
Right, my pleasure. And I'm so sorry I gave Dan the credit. He didn't say anything, did he?
Of course not. Of course not. He's like, yep, 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 yep.
I'll
Of
take
course
it.
not.
I'll take
Yeah,
it.
but I thank you. We the jackfruit I do a lot with the barbecue, but I've learned that I can do more jackfruit with rice over rice.
Yeah.
Uh, cauliflower rice. Jackfruit for the vegetarians. I can put it over wild rice.
Oh, that
And
sounds nice.
yes, believe it or not, I don't taste any of my food because everything tastes like iron to me because I had cancer twice. So
Can't
that
believe
wiped that wiped out all of my taste buds. So I don't taste any of my food when I cook it, and even after I cook it, I barely taste any of it.
I'm
You
just
know,
getting tingles here because eating your food is a spiritual experience, and
Mm.
how you both are, Dan and Bev. There's the love in the food. You can't buy that seasoning, and we've talked about this, haven't we? And people have said this to you before that you can taste the love in the food, and
thank
something
you.
goes on in the interaction with Soul Finesse and the customers. Don't you think, Mrs. Ev?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's amazing. And how like brave and courageous you are to spend so much time like cooking, not having tasted it. I'm sure Mr. M wants to volunteer to be a taste tester.
I'll give you my taste buds. You can have my taste buds.
He loves,
Any,
loves
Are they like
any,
seafood.
kidneys? Can we not do a transplant? And you can have some of mine, Bev.
anytime, anytime,
Oh,
anytime. I tell you, but it's okay. It's okay because I enjoy cooking, and I'm gonna tell you anything. Soul finesse came about. Anything that finesses the soul, and I know Dan talked about it.
Mm,
Anything that finesses your soul, cooking finesses my soul. It
yeah.
brings people together, and people are able to sit down and they're able to talk to each other. When I grew up, I'm only 56 years old. When I grew up, I remember sitting around the table and talking. There
Mm,
were no cell phones, no electronic devices. We were able to just talk.
mm,
And I remember years ago, Dan had a good friend, and he sat at Dan's desk and talked to Dan, but Dan didn't realize what was going on. The next day, he killed himself.
no.
And I said, that was it. No more. We're going to bring all these people that are here. We were in Japan. We're going to bring everybody that's single around the holidays. We're going to bring them together. And I'm going to cook. I don't know how I'm going to do it because we don't have much funds, but we're going to reach out to all of these little groups and we're going to bring money together and we're going to set these individuals down to eat, to cook, to let them know that we are here, we are a family. And it
Wonderful.
all started from there. And here I did the same thing. When we first got
You
here, I
have.
did it
You
in
have.
Lisbon, bring people together.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm doing it again here, bringing people together.
You
And I just
are.
I want to say one thing. I am doing it with Mr. John Smeet. We are bringing people together on September the 7th for the soup kitchen because I am also doing things for the community, with the community,
Mhm.
um, and also for the cancer center because that's a big part of me as well.
Yeah.
You know, so
Well, you mentioned John Smeets there. He is the incredible photographer as well. He took some beautiful photographs I've seen on Facebook in the last few days of the Bay, taken at 5:30 in the morning. And John, I think, does all sorts behind the scenes as well, a little bit like you, right? So you're
yes,
working together for the soup
yes,
kitchen and doing some fundraising and bringing people together around food, which is an amazing thing you're doing. And I think a little bit more superficially, what I thought was going on was that American folks were hearing about your food, and we can put the menu on the screen now. And it was comfort food, which it is. There's no question about that. It is comfort food, and people were thinking, oh, that's good. I'll go along to Soul Finesse. But there's something else going on. There's another positive and beautiful agenda going on where people are connecting heart to heart. And as you say, finessing their soul, which is not, that's your name. I didn't realize that the significance of what was going on there. Again, you have so much going on that is spiritual and transcendent, Bev, you and Dan. We've got the Bayou crab, the vegan on Sunday, southern fried catfish, southern fried chicken wings. The kids love this, don't they? They love your signature mac and cheese as well. The seasoned fries, which Dan, I think, can take the credit for.
Yes.
You can have dessert with your main course with cornbread as well. Oh, I'm at a safe distance. I can say it. and of course, the amazing desserts that you create. So tell us a little bit about those, if you will.
This weekend, both Saturday and Sunday, I will have chocolate cake.
Oh,
we had several people that wanted chocolate cake this past Sunday.
Yeah.
And they walked up and they said, oh, I'm here for the chocolate cake, that divine chocolate cake that you make. And I had no more. It was gone.
Oh, no.
And they was so disappointed. And I said, I'm sorry. It was gone in an hour and a half.
Oh, wow.
Gone.
Yeah.
And so I'm bringing it back. And the seafood ball will be Saturday and Sunday because we have pre-orders now.
Have it, folks, and take a spare shirt because that's right, isn't it, Bev? Take extra clothes because the way to eat that is to get involved, isn't it? Is to jump in pretty much. And you're going to be asking people if you can borrow a hammer from Pit Stop to break open the crab claws. Now, you brought some utensils. We got the pizzas.
Yes.
Dan's got the tools.
I have the tools.
Excellent. And just get covered up and just get involved. And as soon as your teeth go into that corn cob and you get the flavors coming out, you go into a foodgasm, I called it. Owen's here as well. He's a great lover and creator of food as well. In fact, we've got his plum. I've got some of your plum ice cream, I think, that you made yesterday. Isn't that beautiful?
Ooh, that looks good.
It does look good. He's very skilled and talented. He's saying Dream Team Friday, Filomena Friday as well.
Filomena Friday.
Soul Finesse sounds amazing. San Martino is very fortunate. You've also been called the Beethoven of cooking. That works, doesn't it?
Oh, that's so sweet.
There he was. He couldn't hear what he was creating, and you can't taste what you're creating, but we can, thankfully. And I'm so grateful to you. So grateful to have met you, Bev. And this, how this works, how you are bringing people together. American folks, if you were brought up on cornbread and these American favorites, mac and cheese and fried fish and fried chicken, and you just want to finesse your soul, nourish yourself, you can certainly do that at a Pit Stop in San Martino de Porto every weekend, Saturday and Sunday. And something else will occur as well. Dan and Bev take it to a whole new level of sociability, of love, of connection between people. So we thank you for that, Bev. And I'm sorry I got it wrong.
Yes, you got it wrong. Now, can I say one other thing?
Of course you can.
November is a big holiday. Thanksgiving. We do Friendsgiving, Thanksgiving. We are doing that at the Pit Stop this November.
Wow.
Right.
So you will see Dan's cooking because he will do the deep fried turkey.
Deep fried turkey.
Whoa.
All right, I'm in for that. Put me down. I'll be along for that for sure. Amazing. And also new friends of ours, Ken, Ken and Jen. It's easy to remember. Isn't it? Ken has started up and he's added to this whole experience the Taco Tuesday in San Martino de Porto.
Yes, he has.
Amazing.
Yes.
Amazing.
Yes.
So you enjoy that as well. Incredible. You're getting love from around the world here, from Belfast, Northern Ireland, sending love to Bev and Dan. May they keep cooking and loving the community. Here's to that. Absolutely. Yes. Bev and Dan, please give our love to Dan, who may still be sleeping soundly ahead of the hard work you'll be doing this weekend, right?
Yes, he is sleeping because a gentleman's birthday is today, and his wife contacted me 2 days ago and asked if I can prepare. Oh, wait a minute. If Dan can prepare chicken and fish for his birthday today.
Wow.
Busy day today.
And I can do her mac and cheese and sauteed corn, because that's a big hit also, because I do corn with bell peppers and onions in it.
Incredible.
That sounds good.
Sounds wonderful. All right,
and cornbread.
Of course. Obviously. And so maybe if you could whisper in Dan's ear, the GuMPers love you, Dan. All right, just to start his day off. If you send him our love from the GuMPers here.
I will.
All right. Okay. I think we're all good now, aren't we?
Yes.
I'm not sure we will see you this weekend. I'm playing rounders over in Caldash on Sunday, but maybe we can pop in on the way and give the kids some chips to eat in the back of the car on the way over. Yeah,
or maybe I'll just walk down with the kids.
Yeah, all right. So maybe we will see you, Bev.
Okay. I should. Okay.
From your number one fan, and take care. Bye for now. Love to Sam. Thank you for being here. Ciao. Wonderful. The Beethoven of cooking. That's the slope for saying that, isn't it? Oh, Philomena's in the back garden. We'll let her settle down first. I think she's on a bit of an outside broadcast. She could be anywhere. Oh, same to you, Bev. We'll wait until Philomena's signal has settled down. But of course,
Philomena Friday.
That's what it is. Mrs. M is gently stroking the cat, the little kitten who's with us. And Adiga was asking if we've given him a name yet. Well, Sebastian is the name.
The kids love the name Sebastian, but you can't really shorten it. We've kind of
Portuguese though, Sebastian.
We have sort of temporarily shortened it to Baz.
Right, which sounds terribly common, I think. If you were called Sebastian and people started calling you Baz, it'd be rather disappointing, wouldn't it? I think.
But we're still open to other names.
Douglas's daughter. Can you give us a thumbs up, Philomena, if you're all ready and good to go? She can give us a thumbs up. That's fantastic. So Baz, Eusebio, Sebi. Yes, that could work as well, couldn't it? Antonio F is in as well with a few bon dias as well. Jean's in as well, bon dia as well. Yeah, that's amazing, James. The Beethoven of cooking. It's absolutely spot on. And they are such a wonderful couple. Do come over to San Martino de Porto to see Bev and Dan and Soul Finesse. And finessing your soul, Mrs. M, isn't that incredible as an idea?
I absolutely love the idea.
Didn't realize everything works. Everything just works on so many levels with Bev and Dan. Before I left New Jersey, I threw out all my spices. I had the most aromatic garbage on the block that day. Yes, the passing dogs were going crazy as they passed the dumpster that day. And look, and we should say before we go to Philomena, this might be a friend actually of Philomena's. Hello, everyone. Greetings from Usak, Turkey. I'm Halil. It is a friend of Philomena, so let's bring her onto the screen.
Philomena Friday.
Good morning to you. Hola, bon dia, Alegria.
Olá.
Olá,
bom dia, Luitos, bom dia a todos.
Are you in your back garden or are you somewhere on location this morning?
Yes. Yes, I'm in my back garden.
It's beautiful.
Did I just hear some ducks?
I heard some
chickens?
honking. I heard some honking in the back.
Were they ducks?
Chickens, ducks, and geese, and turkeys. Yes. I don't know
and
if
are they yours? Are they yours, Philomena?
Yeah. My husband takes care of them. Yeah. I don't know because I can hardly see the. Can you see me?
We can see you. If you stay pretty much where you are at the moment, we can see you. And you're looking great. Central Portugal, Miranda de Corvo is looking great as well. So, yeah, we're all good. You might have a name suggestion as well. Seb is also an abbreviation for Sebastian. Baz, Gumpy. I like that. Gumpy as well. And Paul Drain as well. Look, Philomena's brought friends this morning. Bon dia from a wet and windy
Paul.
Portsmouth.
Yeah, hello, Paul.
Gumpy. That's just 1,300 kilometers as the Corvo flies. Of course, the crow flies to Miranda de Corvo. So he's missing you all.
Paul was the one who spoke about the marches. Remember, the one that spoke about the marches populares in Miranda. And
Yeah, for sure. And that went incredibly well. But we've kind of moved on, haven't we, from the Marchas Populares to the Festas dos Tabuleiros. And I've made the video, which I'll play in just a moment, and then we'll have a look at all your wonderful photos.
I think I'm having a little bit of trouble with my internet connection. Sometimes I can't hear you.
Okay, well, we can hear you absolutely fine, Philomena, if you're happy to roll with that. It's probably everyone's tuning in to Filomena Friday, and there's been a drop in the signal worldwide this morning. What's that glare behind Filomena? Asked Deagle. Oh, it's the sun. Yeah, we have that over here, Deagle. We don't get much sunshine in Belfast. Hey, Filomena, look, fan mail already. Are we still good for a swim in the pool? Later today. We're busy now, Portuguese.
Of course.
It's the song from Oklahoma, Surrey with a fringe on top. I think that might be the flare as well. Filomena is looking lovely there. Thanks for being such a great friend, says Peter.
Aww, that's lovely.
Chicks and geese.
It's waiting for you, Andy. It is covered now, but it's waiting for you.
Oh, that does look good, doesn't it? Covered as well. It's going to be so hot in there. Wow. Bairandi is with us as well this morning, and he's got some events.
Yes, I have to open it. I have to open it. I have to open it, yes.
Mrs. M would have a few plants in there, I think, enjoying that heat. We also had dinner and drinks with Louise and Jeff on Monday, says Portuguese. Andy, to you, Filomena. And I can see and hear Filomena in Belfast, which is great. Paul Drain, gosh, we were just there in Portsmouth yesterday afternoon. That's amazing, isn't it? It was a convergence. There's a little bit of an outbreak, a mini riot, a riotette of GuMPers in Portsmouth. And we've got Bairandi in Bournemouth at the moment as well. So, Filomena, how are you? Shall we have a quick look at the video first, and then we'll talk about the Tabuleiros thereafter? Oh, she has frozen up now, hasn't she? I'm going to play the video, and we'll see what happens during this. Okay, I got round to it. Oh, she's holding up a little bit of a souvenir, I think, from Tomar. We'll come back to you and hope that the signal has settled down in about 90 seconds from now, Filomena.
Yeah. What? I can't hear you. I think I have to move because
Don't we, Mrs. M, at the best of times?
Absolutely loved Tomar.
And didn't they have a great time there?
Yeah, I love your nail varnish there, Filomena.
Oh, I thought you were talking to me for a minute. She's had to move back inside, I think. I think the internet connection is not sufficient in the Jardin, so she'll be back with us in just a moment. Why, Lord Gilchrist, did she end up in the stocks? I wonder. And Kaza Simpson just simply says licorice. Oh, name for the cat.
Oh,
that is a nice name, isn't it? I'm not standing. I'm not standing on a balcony. Yeah, I'm not standing on a balcony shouting out "licky, licky, licky."
Where's our licky, licky gone?
It's a nice suggestion, but we might not be going with that, Kaza Simpson. Thank you very much, though. And no more wind-up names. Filomena has a James Bond style pool. She does, doesn't she? It's like the cover of the volcano.
She's a very good swimmer, I seem to recall.
She is, isn't she?
She's a super swimmer.
She is.
I mean, she's got really good swimming style.
Yes, that's right. That's right. How many people here have been in a pool with Filomena? It's a strange club, but yes, we have. And Portugal has sent us a video, as has John Joel de Nort. He's off the coast of Brittany as we speak at the moment. We've got a fantastic video to make with you. And that lovely picture of the Isle of Wight yesterday as well. Thank you, John, for all your thoughtfulness in keeping us abreast of your movements across Europe. I'm not seeing anything from you at the moment. Did I strike you off my WhatsApp list, Lord Gilchrist? Maybe.
I don't think you do. I know. Some people think you've done that.
And it's user error or some other problem, isn't it?
Or a child like picking up the phone and
James is right though. I shouldn't be seen in this neighborhood trying to make an
puss, licker.
Yeah, that's not what an expat wants to be shouting out from the balcony in the early hours of the morning, is it? It gives us a bad name. Okay, Practice. That's a terrible name for a cat, isn't it? Practice. What? I'm just calling my cat. What's your problem? Yeah. Filomena will be joining us because it's
Filomena Friday.
Didn't work out in the garden this morning with the demands on the technology. She'll be back in a little while. And of course, if you have any questions about the Portuguese language or culture, or Festa dos Tabuleiros, or Marchas Populares, she's involved in every level. Or swimming, or naming cats. She's your gal, and she'll be back with us soon. Mrs. M, are you going to be here for the GMP VIP hangout at 10?
Yes.
We'll
yes, I am probably going to need to have a little bit of a break at some point.
And make us a coffee.
Yeah, because I definitely need a coffee. But also, this little guy is.
He's very happy.
Well, I'm feeling so chilled holding him. I kind of want to have a little nap.
Oh, okay. A cat nap, of course. Now you've got a new course coming out. You and I both have. Oh, we should do the question while we're waiting for.
Yes,
Filomena.
absolutely.
You've got a school platform. I have as well, where we do learn about Portugal. And you've got an astrology course that you've launched on there. Is that? Or have you launched it? Is it?
Yeah, I have launched it.
Are you waiting for the right
it's a free course. Really, just to help people learn about the absolute sort of beginner astrology stuff. So about how to create your birth chart, how to identify all the different parts of it, what they mean. And it's also got little bits of light homework as well. So that's a free course on Feelgood Astrology on School. So www.school, that's SKLL.com /Feelgood Astrology.
Oh, very good.
But there's also I'm also going to be launching an actual live weekly course. So if you want to learn how to create your birth chart and meet up with the same people each week, and we'll be looking at everybody's chart and working together as a group. I really see it as a coaching sort of thing. You know, it's an opportunity for us to let off steam, to bond, to help each other understand our charts and understand our personalities. And it's going to probably be a weekly thing. It's term by term of like each term is 13 weeks and it's going to take us a whole year. But from like next week or the week after when I launch it, right the way through to a year's time, you'll be able to identify all the different parts of your chart. You'll be able to interpret it, do that for your friends and your family. And it's really teaching you how to think like an astrologer. And with that, you can start planning your own life.
I can recommend it, living with someone who thinks like an astrologer. So there you go.
So there's a few things going on.
And also a smiley face from Anna
there's brilliant. There's also a new moon on Monday.
New moon on Monday.
Which is one of my, I love, every year I look to see what day the new moon falls on so I can do that joke.
Girani for a,
I know, it's great. But it's also a massive day. It's also the North Node's shifting signs as well. There's going to be some really big stuff going on.
Okay.
So check out Feelgood Astrology on YouTube as well.
Thank you very much for that. We've got Filomena back now. Let's give another round of applause. And take off the screen.
I'm sorry because it seems that I was too far from the router.
You're absolutely fine now. And we're seeing another beautiful aspect of your lifestyle in central Portugal. We're in the outside kitchen now, I think, are we not?
That looks lovely.
It does look great.
My barbecue, I think.
Barbecue area. Fantastic. Great to see you again in another part of the house.
Which part are you going to show us next?
Right. Well, hopefully we're settled now. And you wouldn't have seen the video, so I'm going to play it again. So that you can. This is a thank you to you, Filomena. It hasn't done it justice, I'm sure, because there were nearly. We were talking to Jerry last night on the Expats Portugal webinars and Dream Team session last night, and Jerry was saying that close to 1 million people arrived in Tomar last weekend, and it was all handled, organised beautifully. A great time was had by all. So a little 90-second video doesn't do it justice in many ways, but it does have you in the stocks, which I want to ask you about, Filomena, after you've seen this, which I made for you with a great deal of happiness and gratitude to you. So
I will try to.
Oh, sorry. Go on. You tried.
I wanted to be outside, but it seems that the sun is too bright. But
it again. Wow. Okay. Let's see how we get on.
I will give it a try.
All right. Okay. So under incredible duress and difficult conditions, we have Filomena on Filomena Friday for you. Ask any questions about the language and the culture after we've had a little bit of an update from Tomar.
Lovely video. Thank you, Carl.
Much, and we've more pictures to share from the Festa dos Tabuleiros that you were at, of course, and where that video originates. How was it, Filomena? I mean, it's an amazing part of Portuguese culture, is it not?
Yes, it is. It is, and one of the oldest, if not the oldest, because this started well in Christian time. It started in end of the 13th century. So Rainha Santa Isabel, you know, from Coimbra, Rainha Santa Isabel, the wife of Dom Dinis, the King Dom Dinis. She was very devoted to the Holy Spirit, to Espírito Santo, and so, but some people say that this kind of celebration even comes from the worship to the Roman goddess Ceres. It is a goddess. Well, it was a goddess for harvest times and agriculture and fertility. So, but then Rainha Isabel II. Sorry. Rainha Santa Isabel. So late 13th century, early 14th century, she started this devotion to the Holy Spirit, and this is all about sharing because I'm going to explain the tabuleiro, right?
Yeah.
And this is a lovely miniature. But this is all about sharing the bread, sharing the meat from the oxen. I have also sent you a few pictures. I know that I have sent you lots of pictures, but it's pictures of the oxen. And later, a few centuries later, they also included the wine.
Of course.
as the three the three things that would be given to the poor after the parade. So the well, first of all, let's see, as I said, the party, the Festa dos Tabuleiros, it's probably the oldest in Portugal, and also the largest, I would say, because it has so many different aspects in one festa, right? It's not just the parade. It's just not the decoration of the streets. It's the horses, it's the oxen, it's the flowers, it's traditional games, the children. It's everything together. So It's partying for 10 days in a row, 10 days in a row. And so it's really, really something out of this world.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
it's a fantastic, fantastic festa.
Once every 4 years, right,
And
Filomena?
speaking about the yes, and no, because it's so fantastic, it can't be held every year. So every 4 years, every 4 years. So this little tray, it of course first, the first thing is that it has to be the same height as the girl.
Incredible.
So the higher the girl, the higher the tray.
Okay.
And this is formed with a wicker basket at the bottom. Okay, well this one isn't, but it should be a wicker basket with this white cloth, embroidered white cloth, and then the bread should be 30 loaves like these, and each loaf or each roll, let's say, weighting 400 grams. So 30, and then with the rest of the decoration, the paper flowers. The traditional paper flowers are the poppies, and also these malmequeres, kind of a daisy. And so these are the most popular and most traditional ones. But as you see, the trays are decorated in many different colors, many different flowers. And also this one hasn't any, but it also should have a bit of wheat,
Okay.
because it's to do with, again, with fertility, with abundance. So and then at the top it has a crown, and either the Templar, Tomar is a Templar city,
Yes.
so either the cross of Christ, or the dove for the Holy Spirit and for peace, right?
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
So this is the constitution of the little tray.
Love it.
Well, this is little, but the ones they carry, they weight sometimes between 15 to 20 kilos, but it should be at least 15 kilos.
Incredible. And here we see it in action from your fantastic photographs. Let me pop it on the
And
screen.
yeah,
And there we go. As you say, the tray. It's called a tray. That's what tabuleiros means. Bit of
yes,
vocab for you.
double
And
layer. Yeah.
it has to be as high as the woman carrying it. And I'm looking at these fellas here. They're a bit ornamental, aren't they? The men. They've got this.
Yeah.
They've got the cloth on their
The,
shoulder. What does that signify? What's that for? I
yeah.
couldn't figure that out.
Yeah. Okay. So, well, first of all, about the costumes. Let's speak about the costumes. As you can see, the girls wear white, so a long white dress, or they have a long skirt, and then they have those ribbons. The ribbons represent the several parishes, freguesias.
Okay.
So each parish is each freguesia of Tomar, of course, from the municipality of Tomar. There are several freguesias, and each one has a color. So that's why they have this ribbon. Then the men also wear the same color in their tie. So they have a tie that is the same, must be the same color as the woman's ribbons.
Okay.
And the man, apart from the white shirt, that is the same color, of course, as the women, white, and for purity, for
Yeah.
again. And then what they carry on their shoulder is what you said that you would like when I showed that video, the traditional dancing in Miranda, that they
Yes.
were wearing a hat.
Yes.
You remember?
I
Barreta.
do. I
It's
do.
barreta in Portuguese.
Arreta,
So
okay.
that is a hat that they have on their shoulder, because later, I've also sent you, I don't know if you can find it, but I also sent you, I think I've sent you a video from the end of the parade. Then when they get to the finishing point, to Várzea Grande, then they put down the trays, and then the boys carry the tray, but they don't carry the tray on their heads. They carry the tray on their shoulder, on this barreta, on this
Okay, all right. So that's the significance. Oh, there's some beautiful horses. That's part of the parade that you were talking about, of course, as well.
and the decoration of the streets. This is
decoration.
another aspect of the festa. Yes.
I mean, when they get down the narrow streets there, there's
As I said, it has so many.
It does, doesn't it? Absolutely. There you go. And there's
the president.
There's the president again. Now, I wanted to ask you, from the video, we have a shot of you in the stocks. Did you say something to the president that caused you to be put in the stocks?
Yes, I was near him. Yes. This is a photo of mine. Yes, I took this photo, and I was near him. Look at the girl that is at the back.
She's delighted, isn't she?
She was thrilled to be near the president.
He was thrilled. I mean, he's good for a selfie, isn't he? Because here's another one that we found. He's always there.
He's always for a
the
selfie.
Pope is coming.
But it was his first time in public after he went to hospital a few days ago,
that's
right?
That's right.
He went to hospital, and this was his first time, in a public event again.
Incredible.
But next to him, you see the mayor of Tomar. Annabella Freitas.
Yes.
The woman the lady next to him is Annabella Freitas, the mayor of Tomar.
Yes, we might be talking to her at some point. I think Jerry has had a conversation from Expats Portugal. Has had a conversation.
Yeah, she's a lovely lady. She's a lovely lady.
So I've heard, and accessible and open to speaking to us foreigners as well. So that we look forward to that.
Yeah, and she has a degree on human resources, so she likes people.
Well, that's not always the case. It feels like in HR, but she's one of those. She's one of the HR people that does like people. That's fantastic, and I loved it. Absolutely loved this. You got this. I couldn't wait to share this picture that you took. And is it me, Filomena, or are police officers getting younger every day?
Well, as you said already, there are hundreds of thousands in Tomar in those days,
of course,
right? So about almost 1 million people.
Incredible.
But for sure, every year on Sunday alone, the day before the last day of the festa, on Sunday alone, it's usually between 600,000, 800,000 people in Tomar.
Yeah.
So with so many people there, although there are no big quarrels and everything, but you need lots of police officers to control the traffic, to tell people to give some space for the parade to pass and things like that. They apart from the police officers that are already police officers, they also take the trainees.
The police cadets, of course.
Yes,
and that's a good little bit of training for them, of course, as well, isn't it?
Oh yes, a good training. Yeah, it's a good
and it just seems like it's so well organized.
And this picture is also lovely because of the little children on those big horses.
Absolutely. I love these. I mean, they really have taken so much care and effort and attention to detail, haven't they, with their beautiful costumes and how well the horses are turned out, and the kids are getting involved as well.
Yeah.
So a great festa, a gathering for people who love horses as well, the equestrian folk too. Look at this. And so much for those police officers that you mentioned too, marshal and direct through the streets. So thank you. Look, oxen through the streets.
And the oxen, yes.
Look at that. And what is it?
Yeah, because
throne for somebody?
For Anjinho, for the little angel, the child that is going to come afterwards.
Really?
There will be a child afterwards. I I have also another picture, but I didn't send you, of course, all the pictures. I didn't send you all the pictures. But about the oxen are also a very important part of the parade, because they symbolize the meat to give to the poor
Yeah.
people. And in the old times, on Monday, so this big parade, okay, I mean, it's hard to speak about all the activities, but this big parade is the main event on Sunday, always on Sunday. And on Monday, so last Monday, they had the pesa, what they call distribuição de pesa, which is distributing the meat, the wine, and the bread. Because Rainha Santa Isabel also was very dedicated to the poor, And so the miracle of the roses, have you heard about the miracle of the roses?
Tell us. No, I don't know that.
Oh, well, okay. We have to speak about that in
Absolutely.
another show.
Oh,
So,
okay.
but she liked to help the poor very much. Although the king was not very fond of it, but she liked to help the poor. And so also the Holy Spirit, all that Christian attitude of distributing what you have with the ones who don't have it. So on Monday, there is the traditional distribution to the poor of the meat. So the oxen represent the meat. Although nowadays, in the old times, they would be killed at the end of the parade. Nowadays, they just go to the parade just as a symbol.
Yeah.
But of course, others are going to be killed to give the meat. But yes, it's about the distribution of the meat and the bread and the wine, to celebrate the abundance, to celebrate the sharing. This is all about sharing.
Yeah. And do you get that feeling at the event itself, Filomena? I mean, sometimes, in our modern times,
you get a great feeling.
Great.
Yeah.
Excellent. Because sometimes, the purpose of some festivals is a little bit lost, isn't it, in the commerciality of things? But it seems like in Portugal, I'll use the collective we here. We're pretty good at like encompassing not just the fun and the dancing and the music and the booze and everything, but also the original spirit of these festas. And it was there, was it, in abundance as well?
Oh yes. And do you know that when the girls and the women, when the women go on the parade on Sunday, then because I took this picture from the balcony of my good friend Rita Brito. Thank you, Rita. So a very good friend of mine from Tomar, and we were on this balcony, which gives us a spectacular view over everything.
Yes.
And from the balconies and from the windows, people throw petals, flower petals or paper. Little bits of paper, right? In this case, they have thrown lots of colorful bits of paper, and this also makes the whole environment very cheerful, and people clap all the time. And if the band passes, people clap according to the rhythm, and it's really you feel that joy every time.
Yeah, and this street, I mean, it's one of the great streets of Tomar, isn't it?
Yes, it's Corredora. The old name was Corredora. Now it's Serpa Pinto, the main street. Yes,
incredible. Look, I've got to show these again because they are so beautiful. The effort people have gone to make Tomar look so beautiful.
Yes,
thank you for being our on the spot reporter. And I mean, you were hosting people and guiding people and taking all of these videos and pictures. Well, so, will you be doing it at the next one? And can people book now? Because it does make sense, doesn't it, to get ahead? If you want a hotel room in Tomar in 4 years' time, you might want to start thinking about booking now, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, yes, and booking accommodation in Tomar in these days for the festa it can be a nightmare because everything is booked way ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. Trips for Brits. If you want to get involved with all the amazing tours, basically, the Filomena hosts and guides people around Portugal. Trips for Brits, the number 4, tripsforbrits@gmail.com to get in touch. Jean's turned up as well. Good timing, Jean, to get a little bit of Portuguese language or culture tuition. Certainly, we've had a great insight into the Portuguese culture and psyche this morning through the beautiful images and the explanations that we've had from Filomena about the Tabuleiros Festival, Festa this year. Thank you, says this Facebook user. Brilliant festival. Thank you so much, Filomena. It seems a little bit of a crunch to go from that wonderful display of color back to the grammar and the conversation. But if anybody does have a question.
Yeah, well, I have 2 questions from Sandy.
Oh, great. Excellent. What are they?
Because Sandy has texted me yesterday because she's sleeping at the moment.
Oh, okay.
Because she is in Vancouver, on Vancouver Island.
Brilliant. So if you're asleep and you want to learn Portuguese while you're asleep, this is the place to do it.
Yeah, because she will see it later. Because she is sometimes she's in Canada and sometimes she lives in her house in Funchal in Madeira.
Okay, yeah, wow.
But at the time she's not in Madeira. So she asked me to explain about às vezes and por vezes, because she said she usually says às vezes for sometimes, right? Sometimes. When you want to say sometimes, you say às vezes, which means at times, right? Às vezes. And someone told her that it should be por vezes. Well, both are correct. You can say às vezes, which is most common, and sometimes in a more written language, usually we can find the expression por vezes. But it's Sandy, it's absolutely the same. They are synonyms, às vezes or por vezes. But you can say às vezes because it's the most common expression. Às vezes.
I love that. That's a very useful phrase because some of these little phrases are great to have available up your sleeve, right? And to kind of punctuate your sentences and your communication, like talvez or mais ou menos. It's one of those little phrases, isn't it, that you can pop in, and so that you've got a few things to lean on and to pull into the conversation. Às vezes, then, sometimes.
Sometimes, yes. Okay, and then the other question was about the situation with her dog. That she thought, she was saying that I think she said she wouldn't leave the dog in the flat because he could bark. And instead of saying that, she was speaking in Portuguese to someone, and instead of saying that, they laughed because she said that the dog was a thief. because the word to bark is ladrar, and the word thief is ladrão.
Okay, right. Yeah.
So she asked me to pronounce those. So if you say my dog doesn't bark or my dog barks, so if you say my dog barks if I leave him alone, you can say o meu cão ladra. Ladra. That means barks.
Very good. Okay, ladra. And you're not putting your dog or insulting your dog by calling him a thief.
No, you are not calling a thief. And ladrão or ladra, if it's a female thief, is also ladra. But okay, it can be a bit tricky, the word. But ladrão is a thief. So I don't know, Sandy, if I helped you with the pronunciation, but it's ladrar, the verb to bark. O meu cão não ladra, my dog doesn't bark, or o meu cão ladra, my dog barks. That's the way you should say it.
Excellent. Okay, and roubar is to steal, though, isn't it?
So, roubar is to steal. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Because I remember seeing when I lived in central Portugal a field of cabbages, and there was a brilliantly hand-painted sign saying "Não roubar." Sometimes you see these things, don't they? And they're very memorable, as that was.
Yeah.
So no,
Well, right next to my office, there is a little shop, a little grocery, green grocers, and when they close at lunchtime, they leave all the fruit and vegetables outside.
Beautiful.
Everything is outside. Nobody takes anything from those.
Perfect. That's how it should be. Excellent stuff. Very good. We got a few more photos actually from Portuguese, so we'll try and squeeze those in.
We were together in Tomar. A great time we spent together.
And why did you end up in the stocks though?
It was Andy. It
was all right. You took the punishment for Andy. Okay, that makes sense. Dad joke warning: my dog has no nose. How does he smell? Terrible. The old ones are the oldest, absolutely. And exciting new phrase. Instead of saying shall, guarde-vos Deus.
Guarde-vos Deus.
Guarde-vos Deus.
I will be down with the kids in Fundão.
Does it?
Guarde-vos Deus. Okay, for me it sounds really old-fashioned, but
no, then, Pete. You could bring it back.
But maybe because in that area where Pete lives, how shall I say? They use some expressions like those.
Yeah.
So maybe they can use that.
So you
there,
can have a
But here, if I said that Guarde-vos Deus, people would think,
what?
She went mad.
Yeah, she went to Tomar and now she's come back. She had a knock on the head in Tamar. I mean, it's
almost.
Is it a bit like "May God keep you" or "God go with you"? That kind of
Guarde-vos Deus, yes. May God keep you.
Adios, of course, is to God, isn't it? So that makes a lot of sense. Bom dia, Antonio from Victoria. How was the Portimao meetup yesterday? And maravilhoso, Filomena. Squire de Shire is really enjoying this morning. Obrigado. And I'd like to add a little bit of education, if I may. I've been doing this Learn About Portugal thing where we've been doing a Portuguese quiz question every day. Of course, you will know the answers to this. If I can cover yesterday's, Filomena, and also do today's as well while we're here. This was yesterday's, the Learn About Portugal quiz for Thursday the 13th. I was picking up and running with Antonio F's prompt about Inês de Castro. And I've been trying to download the film of Pedro and Inês, which I really want to see, the Portuguese version, and her legendary love affair with the Portuguese king. So for today's question, this was actually yesterday's. Where is she and her lover immortalized, as seen in the pictures below?
Near you.
Absolutely right. and they were buried when the tombs were created by Pedro. They had their feet facing east, and they were side by side. When the Royal Pantheon was built in Lisbon, they were moved there in the 18th century, and they were placed facing each other. And apparently, now they're back in their final resting place. We hope, 1956. Again, they were facing each other, and isn't this beautiful? It is Portugal's greatest love story, although slightly tragic, isn't it? When they awake on the day of final judgment, they will be looking at each other.
The first thing they see is each other.
Isn't that beautiful? And these are photographs that I took. Of course, it's Alcobaça, which they call the place of love. Lugar do Amor, I think, is the what it's known as, isn't it? It's the town of love.
Yeah, and it is also, yeah.
Go on.
Yeah, and it is as Rainha Santa Isabel is connected to Coimbra, this is also connected to Coimbra because Inês Castro was murdered in Coimbra.
Oh, okay, was she? So she went off there, and the dad organised her death, didn't he? Because he wasn't happy about it. But
the king was not happy about it. But it was not her dad; it was his dad.
Right. Yeah, that's right. The king he had a different. In fact, if I play this from the film, you'll get the gist of this story. Let's have a quick look at this.
Well, the film, the Portuguese.
No, sorry, go on.
The film, I have seen the film, and the film is about 3 different timelines. You know, it's about the past, the present, and the future. So 3 different times. There is always a love story between Pedro and Inês, but in a different context.
Well, if people watch this Filomena, they will realize, and this is often the case, I think, after a little while, you know more Portuguese than you realize. So let's test that. with the Portuguese. Obviously, the film was made in Portuguese. So see how much of this you can pick up. It's only a 2-minute trailer, and I think it's very, very fascinating, very interesting. So see how you get on with this, everybody.
And let me say that they are wonderful actors and actresses.
For sure. I hope everyone can hear this okay.
A droga que me enfiaram nas veias envolve-me agora nos seus tentáculos. Leva-me pelas ruas da eternidade. Por onde é de antes, é depois, é agora. Não tenho passado nem futuro. Só tenho presente. E penso que essa é a minha doença.
Casei-vos com uma nobre fidalga do reino vizinho, de jeito a selar tréguas duradouras.
Casado, senhor.
Está consumado. Pedro e Constância.
Esperemos que este emprenhe.
Vim para servi-lo, meu senhor.
Que não morra sem parir.
Uh-oh.
Com licença. É neste
Trouble.
Trouble.
E essa Inês que apareceu aí de repente no ateliê? Dizem que ela é linda.
Eu nunca traí Pedro.
Eu estou apaixonado, pai.
Não temos passado nem futuro. Só temos presente, presente e presente. Somos senhores do tempo, escravos do tempo. Somos Dom Pedro e Dona Inês.
Woo! The most glorious love story. I mean, that is incredible, isn't it? I love that. And of course, the answer was amorous.
It is an incredible story, and it was a true story as well.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah.
So not sexy Sintra, not legendary Al Viagra, but amorous Alcabas.
And Coimbra, Quinta das Lágrimas, where she was murdered.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so we'll do today's question as well. But Victoria, that voice, can we have that on an MP3 loop? Is that Diogo Amaral's voice that she's talking about there? I think it might be, mightn't it? Oh, I really want to see that movie.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm struggling to find it on the right. You know, when you try and watch something on Amazon and you're on .com.co.uk, I couldn't find it last night, but I'll be watching that soon. Thank you. My movie, says Antonio F. So why is that, Antonio F? Are you the producer? We haven't learned this about him, have we? That you might actually be the producer of that film. My movie. Okay, let's do today's question then, which is momentous. This is a motoring milestone here in Portugal. So learn about Portugal quiz for Friday the 14th of July. As of the 11th of July, yes, this very week, a milestone was reached in Portuguese motoring history, literally, thanks to a second amendment to Decree Law 153/2008. Vehicle windscreens across the country are now that little bit easier to look through. Traditionally cut by hand from a legally required driver's document, which square of paper is no longer required for display in the front window. And previously, by the way, fines for the absence of this said slip range from 250 to 1,250 euros. Does that piece of paper that used to be in the windscreen say, if you can read this, you're too close? Is it your McDonald's drive-through QR code? Does it say baby on board? Is it the insurance sticker? Is it your Mercadona car park permit? Or is it your NIF number? So let's leave that hanging there. That is available at learnaboutportugal.com.
Mine is still on the screen.
You know what? It's going to take Portuguese people a long time to give up that habit, isn't it? How long do you give it? Filomena?
No, mine is usually there. And of course, this just started this week. So I haven't taken it.
And I think a lot of people in Portugal will be the same. I mean, this has been going on for decades, isn't it? And it's quite good fun to get your piece of paper, print off your PDF, get the scissors out of the kitchen drawer.
You have to, some scissors, cut it. And then you have to cut it precisely the size of the little square.
I'm quite sad. I'm quite sad to see it go, actually. As
So
I'm sure other-
now we have nothing to do. You can't cut and you can't. Oh, how sad.
they've taken our fun away. They're always ruining things. And it was so sweet. The first time I did it, it was one of those moments. It's almost like having a pastel de nata and cafe nata, cutting out your insurance. Oh, whoops, cutting out whatever it is. Ruined the quiz.
No, cut.
But it's a rite of passage, isn't it? It's something you do for the first time when you've got getting your car in order. So it's gone, no longer needed as of this week. But I think it will be a habit that will die hard and will continue. And you're not going to get. Maybe the police will introduce a fine. You'll get a fine if you put it in.
I still have some on my screen. From. Well, not from Portugal, but the stamps that you have to buy in, I think it was in, Slovenia and Slovakia and the Czech Republic. I still have them there from 5 years or so.
Well, this is what we need to be careful of. Oh, Binks, the black cat from Hocus Pocus. I will put that to the family from Kazza Simpson. Good morning to you. Thank you. The UK made displaying the old paper tax disc illegal. Maybe that's what they've got on their sleeves here. Are they going to fine you for having it? Not having it. So people were fined for displaying. Let's hope they don't follow. They're going to do that at some point, don't you? That's.
Well, I will have lots of fines then.
You will, and from basically for displaying all these old slips from various countries around Europe
and foreigner stamps as well. So absolutely. I will be double fined.
All right. Well, I think you've bowled everyone over with tales from the Tabuleiros this morning, Filomena, and thank you for Sandy's questions. As vezes, sometimes that's really helpful, and don't call your dog a thief. We've learned about that this morning. What else? Before you go, I'm going to stick around. We've got our hangout after 10. Go over to Learn About Portugal. Click on your GMP VIP area to get the link to join us after the show. Mrs. Ebb will be back, hopefully with a coffee in just a moment. But what have you got coming? I mean, it's hard to top the Tabuleiros. Where are we going on Trips for Brits at Gmail next?
Well, I'm preparing a trip to Parsnip Festival.
Sorry. Of course you are. Right, tell us.
You wouldn't imagine there is a parsnip festival in Portugal, would you?
I had no idea. I've got a vague memory of it, but I'm so glad there is. I can't tell you how glad I am that there is a parsnip festival. Not only that, you're going to it with people. What can people expect if they sign up for the parsnip festival?
Yeah, they can expect a trip to the highest mountain in Portugal, in the mainland, because the highest mountain is in the Azores, in Pico, but in the mainland it's the highest mountain, Serra da Estrela.
Yeah.
So they can expect to visit a guided tour around Serra da Estrela to see lovely landscapes there, a statue of Our Lady engraved in the stone, and at the very, very top we are going to have a lovely lunch, so a buffet lunch, so people can taste traditional food if they want, but if they want some chips or some, some steak and chips, they can also have it.
Yeah.
But or if they are vegetarian, they can also choose just the vegetables. So it's going to be a buffet lunch. And then we are going to, of course, to see the Parsnip Festival, and they can buy parsnips. They can taste some food with I say this because here in central Portugal, in my area near Coimbra, it's very hard to find parsnips. You see, it's not easy to buy parsnips here in Miranda do Corvo.
Okay, maybe they do that on purpose.
It's not.
Maybe they do that on purpose in the Serra da Estrela
just for Miranda do Corvo people.
Yeah. It dates back to the 15th century. It was the famous the Parsnip Wars.
Maybe they thought, oh, Miranda do Corvo, they don't have any parsnips. Let's make a festival.
Well,
yeah,
you've got your first booking here. Kazza Simpson want to join you. Parsnip, look at this. There is a thing. Something's happening here.
They are rare in Lisbon too. Oh.
And
yeah.
expensive. So there's your opportunity to reacquaint yourself.
You see, there is a good opportunity to go and taste also other recipes with parsley, with parsnips, and so yes, it's a good chance for you. And of course, to eat at the top of the highest mountain in Portugal.
Incredible. There you go. That is a great attraction. Two things. The highest mountain.
It's going to be in September, okay?
And is Andy right? It's the pastinaca, is the parsnip. Has he got that right?
Well, pastinaca, no. That is a bit too Spanish. It's a bit too Spanish. It's chorovir.
Chorovir. Okay, and loads of lovely parsnips baked in honey and sesame seeds. Or roasted in maple syrup. I think honey probably in Portugal, right? Serving suggestions gratefully received, and book your place on that. You know that's going to be fun. Fundao Market Basement. Amazing parsnips there.
Yes, because of course, Peter, because you live in the area where they grow the parsnip, so that's
Parsnip
why.
Pete. I think they even call him that. Parsnip Pete.
Parsnip.
In the capital of parsnip growing in Portugal. Pete and his Portuguese parsnips. A children's story coming out soon. Filomena, beijinhos. Thank you so much. Bon fin semana. It's been amazing as always. Lovely to talk to you today. And thank you. And that film that is up on our YouTube channel if you want to watch that. And I mean, I think I need to make another one with the extra footage that you've sent in. Oh,
ciao, ciao.
Bon fin semana. Muito obrigado. Ciao, ciao. Superb. Just a few more notices then. That was excellent this morning. Totally agree with you, Squire of the Shires. Filomena from the Facebook user there. Man Cave tonight. Antonio off telling us that Portugal is the country of Western Europe with a higher percentage of deaths by running over. Oh dear. News just in there. I thought you were going to say it was going to be a parsnip related accidents or something of that kind, but that's not funny at all, is it? We have a number of RTAs. We seem to be the highest in Portugal, according to Antonio F there. And a couple more pickies and some events around Portugal, thanks to Bairandi. There is Andy's picture. That is, I'm guessing, the Tomar coat of arms. Thank you very much for that, Andrew and Lord Gilchrist. All rise. And this more beautiful paperwork, beautiful floral paper or paper florality, paper-based. Anyway, you get the idea. Beautiful things made out of paper in the shape of flowers. And the octopus doesn't. Oh, it maybe the other legs are behind the banner there that it is placed upon, that lovely checkerboard there. Superb stuff. Thank you very much, Lord Gilchrist, for that. So a few more events to share with you as we do. Thanks to Bairandi and the GuMPer map. Brilliant show. Thanks, Pete. Beijinhos from Casa Simpson as well. Thanks for joining us this morning. A lot of people who rarely visit us, but we're glad when you do, and obviously brought to us, attracted by the like moths to the flame of Filomena this morning. Check out this Super Folk Festival then. That's that looks like the 8th to the 16th of July, the Folk Festival in Cantanhede. Thank you, Andy, for all of these. Find them at the GuMPer map. And you can get to that via goodmorningportugal.com. Look at this. I love that poster. And one of these days, I am going to start collecting these fantastic posters for these wonderful events all over Portugal. That's a corker, isn't it, with a cocker on it? That is the Folk Festival in Ancas and Adia. We've also got, what else here? Another beautiful poster. Simple but effective. And I think, hit yourself rich, of one of our former quiz questions where you have to guess where the animal is going to empty its bowels on a field and win money or the said animals. Check out the bikes, have lunch, play Poop Lotto is what he's calling it there. Join in, is it Cacadelo? Is that what it was called when we were talking about it before? Join the free Zumba. If you have a motorbike, you can join the ride out to the lovely Mira Beach as well. That sounds like fun. 16th of July. Pig Poop Lotto, everybody. Free Festival of the Canals in Aveiro as well. Yeah, that's happening at the moment. And I know Andy Klein, who was with us earlier on, the great filmmaker, made that beautiful clip that we showed yesterday of the paragliders at Gralha Beach. He's enjoying that right on his doorstep. So the Canal Festival, loads of great music, and they get some big names there. I think they had Gilberto Gil there a few years ago, I noticed. Sardiada party at the Costa Nova Beach. So Sardinia, I think there might be a typo there. A lot of sardine festivals going on. We've got one up the road here on the Silver Coast at Salero de Porto, I believe, over this weekend as well. And finally, another event to go to, fun cycle, breakfast and lunch in the lovely Parque da Vila do Troviscal, Bairrada. A lot of events happening in the Bairrada region and beautifully captured for us and documented on the GuMPer map by Randy, who's in Bournemouth by Randy at the moment. Thank you, Andy, mate. Have a great time in the UK. Last look then at our president here, who Filomena captured, and that girl's face. Isn't that fantastic? And another way we like to see the president ahead of his visit in early August, the Pope will be in Cascais and Lisbon first week of August, alongside, I think, millions of youths coming for the International Youth Festival here in Portugal, mainly in the capital and Cascais, a place to be avoided if you don't like crowds, basically. So have a great weekend. Bon fin de semana. Click the link to join us for the GMP VIP Hangout. I'll send that to you, Filomena, in case you want to join us as well. Have a great weekend. Bon fin de semana. Ciao, ciao. Let's play that outro, and we'll see you on Monday. And I'll be releasing clips over the weekend. Take care. Bye for now.
In Portugal, there's a YouTube show full of fun facts you need to know. Carl rings the bell and the members show to the GMP morning show. Featured guests will come and they will blow your mind. The audience will do so in kind. The little vanity mixed with some insanity on the morning show with GMP.
Good morning, Portugal, and I'd like to welcome you to another fantastic day.
Hey, GuMPers.